ANORA is written and directed by Sean Baker and stars Mikey Madison, Mark Eydelshteyn, Yuriy Borisov, and Karren Karagulian, and it follows ANORA, or Annie as she likes to be called, a young sex worker from Brooklyn who meets and impulsively marries the son of a Russian oligarch. However, once the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened as his parents send their goons her way and set out themselves for New York to get the marriage annulled. Sean Baker's a blind spot for me. You know, with Tangerine, The Florida Project, and Red Rocket, he is undoubtedly one of the most critically acclaimed and beloved directors of the past 10 years. And for whatever reason, all of those movies have completely missed me up until this point. Well, after ANORA was announced as the Palme d'Or winner, I locked in on it as not only a movie I was highly anticipating for the rest of the year, but also what would be my likely entry point into Sean Baker's work. And after seeing it, I feel like a damn idiot for missing this guy's work for so long because he is brilliant and this movie is absolutely fantastic. I just got so swept up in this movie. It really lived up to the hype for me. It's so much fun, so funny, so electric, has such an incredibly good handle on tone, and so much of that can be credited to Sean Baker. As I said, he's the director, the sole writer, and he also edited the movie, so he basically has full control over everything that's going on here. And that allows the movie and the movie's tone in particular to feel so honed in on. You can feel how much Sean Baker is in control of the tone. And the movie sort of goes through three different stages of it. The first act, featuring ANORA meeting Vanya, or Ivan, which is Mark Eydelshteyn's character. He's the son of the Russian oligarch. They meet, they start going out, they're having a lot of sex, and they're having a ton of fun, and it's propulsive, and the energy is insane in the first act. It is pure electricity. And then, through a series of events, Vanya leaves the story, and in his place comes three goons, Igor, Toros, and Garnik, played by Yuriy Borisov, Karren Karagulian, and Vache Tovmazian, respectively. And these three are so goddamn funny. Their entrance into the story plays out in this 20-minute insane comedy, just keep adding stuff on sequence, where it's simultaneously so funny, and you can also feel the danger for ANORA in that moment, because these three mysterious men have just showed up, her husband's gone, they're telling her what to do, and it's a really incredibly written and directed scene, and it just kept going, but not in a bad way. And that whole second act basically becomes this sort of screwball comedy detective movie almost, where these four people who really do not want to be hanging out at all are all working together to find Vanya. And there's some really incredible comedic set pieces, and again, just an incredibly entertaining act. But the movie's shift into the third act is, I think, where Sean Baker's strength really comes across. It, without giving too much away, it sort of grounds everything. The movie has been doing this incredible tightrope walk where the things that are happening are pretty sad, but Baker's finding so much comedy in them and so much drama, and he's towing that line so well. And when you reach the third act, it's like that line can't be towed anymore, and the truth of the story comes out. There's still laughs and comedy in the third act, but it becomes much more sobering. And you've been watching ANORA through the whole movie be this very self-sufficient, savvy, smart girl who knows what she wants and what she's worth and isn't afraid to speak her mind. And we see in the third act that you can only do so much, and there's always a bigger fish, and it's really, really well played, and it builds to this incredible ending that I'm not going to say anything about, but the ending is such a period on the end of the sentence that this movie is. A sentence that, when you're going most of the way through it, you think is going to end with an exclamation point, but it's just a period, and you're just left thinking about it. And that was so incredibly effective to me. And that's obviously a big credit to Baker. He is so brilliant here. It's just working all the way through, and the movie never really falters. I was never bored. This is a 140-minute movie, and I was just so into it the whole time. Baker is obviously such a huge part of that. I think this is an Oscar-winning screenplay, maybe competitive in editing, picture, definitely, director, but Sean Baker can only do so much. What you need to bring it over the line is the performances, and the ensemble is absolutely up to the task in this movie. Mikey Madison is completely electric. This is a movie star performance in real time. I mean, everybody's been saying this. She is so watchable. She is just fully embodying this character, and it's a very impressive performance, you know, in terms of her comedic delivery, her dramatic scenes, but also physically. Madison has talked about how difficult it was to learn all the pole dancing and all these different things, and it's a very physical performance, and Madison has a lot to do, and it's all incredibly believable and so good. She would be she's so good in this movie, man. She would be such a good Best Actress winner, and she's helped out so much by the supporting cast. These Russian actors, Mark Eydelshteyn as Vanya is so entertaining, and I've heard some people saying that his performance is kind of one note, but I think that's perfect for the character and what he's doing, and it's really effective because your feelings on the character are totally different when you consider the performance in the context of the first act and within the context of the third act. And I think the performance staying pretty much completely the same through here is so effective at that. And then Yuriy Borisov and Karren Karagulian are so goddamn funny. Yuriy Borisov in particular as Igor is this incredible silent presence throughout the movie. He is a little bit creepy and a little intense, but he very quickly kind of gravitates toward ANORA and sort of becomes her protector in a way, whether she wants it or not. And he's always like thinking. He doesn't talk a lot, but there's always something going on in his face, and it's always interesting. The opposite is true of Karren Karagulian as Toros. He is talking all the time, and he is so goddamn funny constantly. It's really just a fully rounded out cast that pairs so well with Baker's writing. Baker has all these brilliant little moments of characterization, tiny, very effective lines, reactions, mannerisms, and all these actors bring them to life and carry them off perfectly and bring this movie to the next level. This is absolutely one of the best movies of the year. It was very a deserving Palme d'Or winner. It's going to be in the Best Picture conversation, and it very much deserves to be. It's a completely fantastic cast, a screenplay that should be winning Oscars. It is so consistently excellent in so many areas, and again, as I mentioned earlier, the ending that just leaves you with such a feeling and has kept the movie in my mind through these past few days. But also I keep thinking about these incredible comedic sequences, and it's just a complete movie. I don't know if it's as high as a 5-star masterpiece for me. That could maybe change on a rewatch, but this is a movie that is so entertaining, it's so propulsive, it is pure cinematic electricity. See it with the biggest possible crowd you can. It's going to be a movie you're hearing about for months, so you might as well see it in a theater. It is absolutely fantastic, one of my favorite movies of the year, and I highly recommend ANORA. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!